ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य आणीस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासि अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om. Peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. This morning I am going to speak on a very common subject which is very familiar. This word is very familiar to you, but the conception is not very clear, or it is not completely clear to you. To understand this concept is very important in our spiritual life, and obviously to manage our personality, to interact with the society. The title of my talk in this morning is the concept of self. We know in Indian philosophy, the spirituality circles around the self, the spirit. Before going into the subject, I would like to refer you that I referred you in number of times, those who have been attending my lecture for some times, they know that the fundamental difference between Indian philosophy and spirituality and Western philosophy and spirituality is one. The fundamental difference. There are many differences, but the fundamental difference is this. Especially, I would like to mention it from the point of view of spirituality. This is the basic difference. According to Indian concept of spirituality, the human personality is called trichotomy. Trichotomy means it is divided into 3 sections. One is the body, the gross body. Second is the mind, which is not gross, which we cannot see, only feel. And beyond that, there is an entity which is called self. In Sanskrit, it is called Atman. So 3 sections are there, 3 levels are there. That's why in technical term, it is called trichotomy. According to the West, the human personality is dichotomy or dichotomy. There are 2. The gross body, made out of flesh, blood, bones, etc. And the second level is the mind. Everything in the mind. Obviously, according to some mystics, the mind has 2 levels, higher levels, upper level or lower level. But the mind, this is the fundamental difference between the Western concept of philosophy and spirituality and Indian concept of spirituality and philosophy. So, according to Indian concept, what is the concept of spirituality? Spirituality is connected with spirit. What is spirit? Neither the body nor the mind, but the third entity, which is called Atman or self or spirit. So to understand that, to realize that, to feel that is called spirituality. So spirituality is a journey, according to Indian philosophy, from gross level, this world, this body, gross body, to Atman, the third entity, through subtle body, through our mind. That is the journey of spirituality according to Indian concept. But according to the Western concept, the body and mind, so mind, if we can transform or we can transcend into the higher mind, the mystical mind, that is, according to Western concept, is spirituality. As for example, if you think about Wordsworth, if you think about other mystic writers, in some places of Shakespeare, you can find that they talked about some transcendental thing, so mystical thing, and mystical thing also can be reached through mind. So this is the fundamental difference. Now I am talking about the concept of self according to Eastern philosophy and spirituality. So innumerable time, frequently we use the word self. So what does it mean by self or Atman? We know in Indian thought the term self refers to Atman, which is unchangeable, self-effulgent, eternal, all-pervading, and it has its own, it has its own existence, knowledge, and bliss. No external things are required to prove the existence of self. That is why it is called direct. According to Aristotle's language, I would say it is causeless cause. The mover, unmoved mover. So everything in this universe has some cause. As for example, this table has a cause. This is the effect. So the cause, it has some material cause, wood, and some efficient cause, who made the carpenter and the instruments. So these are the causes for which this table came into existence. Exactly everything in this universe has a cause, but the self or Atman doesn't have any cause. It self-existence. So it exists from immemorial time. Who created this? It doesn't create it. So if you say something is created, then we understand that there was something out of which something is created, and that is impermanent. The concept of impermanency is this: which has been created, which was not there, which came into existence, that is temporary. Because which came into existence, it will continue maybe thousands of years, but it will be destroyed. It will go away at certain period of time. So, which has been created, which has come into existence, that must have some perishment. So this is temporary. So Atman or self, it is self-existence and not been created. It was there always. That is the point. So if I say it came into existence, then the question will come that when time will come, then who created this? Some person. But it has no such kind of questions related with the concept of Atman. There is no time. It is beyond time, space, and causation. Because time, who created this time? If you think very carefully, who created this time? Time is our mental concept. In different country, different time. If we say that it is time saving, it is not the time saving. So everything according to us is, or the movement of sun, which we are seeing, which we are perceiving. So all these are created by human being. So it is subject to creation. But Atman, the concept of Atman, is beyond everything. So self-existence, self-effulgent. So this is the concept of Atman. According to all philosophical schools, there are major six philosophical schools in Indian philosophy. All these schools, they accept this concept of Atman or self, that it is eternal, it is blissful, it is knowledge, truth, it is consciousness. So this self is consciousness. Why human beings are aware of everything? It is a consciousness. Because of that third entity, not for the body. When a person is dead, what happens? Body is there. So what is not there? So mind is not there. So mind is active only when that consciousness is there. Then only mind will become active. So all the philosophical, except Buddhism. Buddhism doesn't believe the concept of Atman. And all these, the concept of the whole subject matter of Indian scriptures. The Veda is the basic scriptures, the main scripture of Indian philosophy. So most of the parts of Vedas is covered by the concept of this self, Atman. How can we realize this Atman? What is the nature of Atman? And detailed analysis of this Atman we find in the scripture. So, but Buddhism, they never believe on Vedas and obviously the concept of Atman. So except Buddhism, we find this concept of Atman held by all the Vedantic schools and all the Indian philosophical sects. Now let us see that in Upanishads, in Bhagavad Gita, in other scriptures, we find that the same Atman is used in different terminology, in different ways. But the main concept is this Atman is one. Another interesting thing is that this Atman is oneness of existence. Vedanta says that this Atman, I have Atman, you have Atman, everybody who are sitting here, everybody has Atman. Because this third entity, according to Indian philosophy, the consciousness, we know, we all have this consciousness. But the point is this, whether this consciousness, we have individual consciousness, each separate consciousness, I have my own consciousness, you have your own consciousness, and everybody has their own consciousness. Here comes the differences. Some philosophical schools says that yes, we have different consciousness. As for example, the Sankhya. There is a Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy, the founder of Sankhya philosophy is Kapila. So Kapila was a great rishi, great thinker of this universe. He was the first person who separated the whole universe. He separated into two groups. One is consciousness, another is non-consciousness. Before that, what the Western scientists, they did. They said, yes, this is living, this is matter. So they divided the whole universe into two groups. One is living entity, one is the matter. But this Kapila, in Sankhya, who is the founder of Sankhya philosophy, he said that this is consciousness, this is non-consciousness. So he divided the whole group between consciousness and non-consciousness. This consciousness is Atman. So, do we have individual separate consciousness? Sankhya philosophy says, yes, we have independent separate consciousness. I have my own consciousness, you have your own consciousness, he has his own consciousness separately. But then came Advaita Vedanta. Advaita Vedanta says, mainly Shankaracharya, before that Gaudapada, before that all his gurus were there. But the Advaita Vedanta, Shankara was the great propagator of this Advaita Vedanta. Before, it doesn't mean that before Shankara there was no Advaita Vedanta. It is from time immemorial this concept is there. So, Advaita Vedanta says, no, the whole consciousness is only one. Your consciousness, and there only the oneness of existence the concept of oneness of existence comes. The oneness of existence. We all are one. This is the why. And Swami Vivekananda's fundamental philosophical concept stands on this principle, that we all are one. And various examples, allegories, illustrations have been given to establish this concept, that we all are one. Yes, we are seeing we are different, but we are all are one. And here comes the different concept and different explanation, or to make people understand that it is one, but why we see it differently. Why different human beings behave differently. Here comes the analysis, and I am going to explain this thing, that yes, main concept is one. The Atman, the consciousness is one. But why we see it indifferently, let we understand that. And we understand that it is one, and how and why we can, keeping this in our mind, and the main object is to realize that oneness, but that is the way of spiritual journey. But intellectually, we can try to understand how this is different from one another, and what is the mechanism. So structurally, the self is spoken as having 5 seeds, each individual. There are 5 seeds, as for example, the whole personality. And our personality, actually, we express our everything according to these 5 layers. And it is arranged in a vertical way. So all concept in Vedanta is a kind of vertical thing. So our personality, we can imagine that there are 5 seeds structurally. This Atman, structurally, it is one. Don't you think that I am explaining it structurally, 5 seeds vertically organized? It doesn't mean in reality it is like that. It is for our understanding. Consciousness, we do not know consciousness, what is consciousness, how it is, but we know its existence. As for example, air. We cannot see air, okay? We do not know what kind of thing. We know what kind of thing is air, but we cannot see air. But we know that air is there, the existence of air. For different movement, for the movement of a piece of paper, we can understand, okay, air is the existence of air. But we know, yes, in this room it is full of oxygen, or it is full of air. So that we know. Exactly in the same way, for our understanding, we think this organization, structural organization. So 5, it is the 5 seeds, and so the basic is the vital seeds, the material. First is the material seeds, and you can consider this self is just like a light or electricity. It is the source of electricity. Each, you can consider that there are toys. 5 toys are arranged in a vertical way. When the electricity will come in some kind of one toy, and it starts functioning, like that it is moving its hand and everything and doing accordingly. If the drummer is there, then he will beat the drum. The next one, probably the cricket player. So if electricity will come, he will play the cricket. So like that, every toy will move accordingly when the electricity will come. Exactly, our 5 seeds are there. These are material seeds. You can understand by listening to these names the material seeds. Then will come the vital seeds. So material seeds means the gross basic seeds. Vital seeds is the energetic or vital force. So vital seeds, then the mental seeds, then the intellectual seeds, and blissful seeds. These are the 5 seeds. In Sanskrit term, they are called kosha. Seeds means the kosha. The annamaya kosha, pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, vijnanamaya kosha, and anandamaya kosha. You can understand by listening to these names, So the basic, if the current is connected with the basic seeds, it is full of annamaya kosha. Annamaya means the food. Eating, drinking, merrymaking. Most of us are at that particular level. Our consciousness is connected with that particular level. So that level is active, very active. So we care if we do not get good food. We care, we are upset if we do not have a fun frequently. So this is a kind of this. Next is the energy level. Those people who are highly energetic, they want work. They don't bother what they are wearing, what they are eating, whether they will go to any fun trip or anywhere else. They only work, do something, create something, innovate something. That is their whole energy. Then the third level is the mental level. Those people who are aesthetics, painting, poet, they don't care about what they are going, where they are going, what they are eating, what they are wearing, what they are working. They don't care about that. They will upset when you do not allow them to compose poem or to paint the picture or to sing a song. So these are aesthetic people. Then comes the intellectual people, the researcher. They are happy with their research and laboratory. They don't care anything else outside. So see how human behavior changes according to the connection, and other are not active at that point of time. And then finally comes the blissful, the higher spiritual level. So this is same one Atman is structurally it is activating in this way. So this is one kind of concept. Metaphysical standpoint, the self said to have 3 levels. And these are called Paramarthika level, Pratibhashika level, and Vyavaharika level. These are 3 Sanskrit terms. So what is the Vyavaharika level? Means the worldly things. This gross body, we are connected with that gross body, and this world, we are interacting with this world. This is called Vyavaharika. Means the day-to-day work. And the Sanskrit term, who knows Sanskrit or Bengali, they can understand what does it mean, the practical thing. So we are doing this practical thing, practical level. So this is called. Then Pratibhashika, the dream state. Dream, according to Vedanta, it is interesting that according to Vedanta, they think that the dream is real as long as you experience it. Because in dream, we see so many things, We move, we laugh, we cry, we travel, we eat. So many things we do. And in the waking state also, we do so many things. So how can we know that which state is the real? When we dream, do you think that you are dreaming? The dream state is not true? When you woke up, you think that yes, I was dreaming. So, in the certain level where we are, at that level we think that is true for us. Again, when you are in deep sleep, you don't have any consciousness. Do you have any consciousness? Yes. We have some awareness at that point also. Why? How can we know that? Because after deep sleep, when you get up, you say that I had a very good sleep. Who have experienced that one? That means you were aware during your deep sleep. Somebody was experiencing that sleep. So, this dreaming level is called in Sanskrit Pratibhashiko level. So, Pratibhashiko, Paramarthiko level is the deep sleep level, and this normal awakened state is called Vyavaharika level. So these are three levels. All are connected with this Atman. So Atman is acting through this way. So see, just if you imagine the arrangement of these things, these toys, the Atman is connected with one toy and work accordingly. That's why, according to Vedanta, this world is neither true nor untrue. It is called in Sanskrit Anirvachuniyo or Mithya, unreal. Unreal means untruth. Untruth means something is, if I tell a lie, what does it mean? It means I am not telling you the truth. Something I am telling. That means lie is also something. So if I say that this world is untruth, or this is unreal. Unreal means untruth. So untruth means it is lie. So lie means something, it is there. What we are seeing this, it is not correct. As for example, what we see in dream, we say that is not correct. But we are not sure about that. What we see in the waking state, we say that that is correct because we are taught like that. From our childhood, we are taught like that, what we see in the waking state, this is correct. But for a baby, equally, the waking state and the dreaming state, equally true for them. Because they are not taught at that time. So, this is the, so, this is the concept of Vedanta. So this is another understanding of these three steps. It is in the metaphysical standpoint we can explain this one. And with connected to this, we say in technical term, it is called, the waking state is called Vishwa. It is the technical term. In the scripture you can find this term. The waking state is the Vishwa. Then dreaming state is the Toijasha, and the deep sleep state is the Pragya. These are the names. And then finally, we come the functional concept of this Atman. And this is very important in our spiritual life. So this is, there are three modes. One is called Bhokta, means enjoyer. One is called Karta, means doer. And another is called Jnata, or knower. These are the three things. The same Atman. Connecting from Atman is doing. So Bhokta is the enjoyer, We enjoy the self, the most familiar with that. It is the consciousness identified with the mind and 5 sense organ of knowledge, Jnanendriya. We have 5 sense organs. And in Indian philosophy, they divided into 2 groups. 1, 5, 5. Each group has 5. One is 5, in Sanskrit it is called Jnanendriya, or the sense organs of knowledge. Through those 5 sense organs, we acquire the knowledge. And there are 5 sense organs through which we work. That is called Karmendriya. We work through those 5. So what are the 5 sense organs through which we acquire the knowledge? These 5 sense organs are eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and skin. These are the 5 sense organs through which we acquire the knowledge. All knowledge is a taste. We know this is the taste, so this is a knowledge. Listening, somebody is talking, I am talking, and you are listening to. So you are acquiring some knowledge through ears. I see it, so this is the knowledge. So smell, this is a beautiful smell. So that is a knowledge. So these are the 5 sense organs of acquiring the knowledge. And you see, when this sense, Atman, is connected with that, this is called Bhokta. We enjoy, and mind also. So in Vedanta, mind is also a kind of sense. Because, according to Vedanta, consciousness is eternal, permanent. Eternal means not temporary. So it is always. Mind has a characteristics of volition. Mind is moving like a pendulum. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are unhappy. So sometimes we are sad, sometimes we feel good. So, every moment we do not have any control. You are thinking now that I will go after this lecture to the left direction. But just when you step out, what happened? You went to the direct. No, I shall go there. But for last 2 days you are thinking you will go left side. So mind can change any moment, any time, and it is not in our hand. So one of the important practice of spirituality is to control our mind. Take the control of mind at your hand. That is the most important thing. Swami Vivekananda said at one time, if I had to forget all my lessons and I have to start my life from the beginning, from zero, first I would meditate. Because through meditation, I can take my mind under my control. Then I shall study. So that is the first thing what we should do. However, so what happened when we enjoy? At that time, our consciousness is connected with these 5 sense organs. 5 sense organ means 5 sense organs for acquiring knowledge. and mind. So when our consciousness is connected with that, then only we enjoy, we experience all kinds of things. And the bhokta appropriates all these kinds of experiences accordingly. Then we feel, I am happy, I am unhappy. The term bhokta means one who experiences the bhoga. Bhoga means what? The bhoga means feeling, both happiness and sadness. Bhoga means the feelings, our experience. And bhokta means who is experiencing that. So we are experiencing that happiness and sorrow. And we know the most of our experience, as Buddha said, at the end of our age, when we can account our balance sheet, if I ask anybody of you, what is your experience, sir, at the age of your 80? The life is joyful or it is full of sadness? I know 90% people will say, no, it is full of sadness. Even though they enjoyed their life in many parts of their lives, but they will say, now most of the part, if you take the balance sheet, the sadness is, the account of sadness is more, no doubt about that. That is why Buddha said, the life is sadness. However, so we can term it, this is called suffering self. The bhoga is suffering self. So, or pleasant self we can say, but it is suffering self, it is said. So this experience, the experience of bhoga, comes in three ways. When we experience, three types of experience we have. One is the attachment, we love or we hate. So these are the first thing. The second thing is coming, anger, jealousy, hatred. This is the second reaction we have experience. The third experience is fear. If we categorize, if we think, what are the experience of human being? There are three types of experience, three categories. One is love or doesn't love. And love means attachment also. Attach or detach. The second is hatred, jealousy, anger, this kind of thing. And third is fear. So these three types of bhoga or three types of experience so attachment, aversion, all these three characteristics of bhoga, and all these are connected for this Atman. See, all we are experiencing this. Afterward I shall say what is the role of Atman here. Then comes the doership, karta. When I say, I did this, I say this, so it will be, it will happen, because I am saying this. So that is I am the doer. So when I am the doer, then what happened? This consciousness is connected with the sense of doing. We have 5 sense of doing, and these are speech. Our speech is one kind of doership. Speech, hand, it is called vak, pani, hand, pada, our legs, upastha, and payu. So these are the genetic organs. 2 genetic organs, our legs, our hands, and our speech. So these are the 5 organs of working, doing something. So when our self is connected with these 5 organs, then this doership comes. So I did this, I do this. So we can say that this is the consciousness. See, I do this. So this is, we say, actually all the activities is going on by the operation of this universal force, this from where this Atman is coming. So everything is going on this from Atman, and Atman is a universal force. It is eternal. So actually we are not doing this. It is coming from there. And oneness of existence, this Atman is one. So that is the analyzing part of it. We shall come afterwards. So for this, we become bound. This doership, we become bound. The more you see that I did it, I do it, and we will be caught in this vicious cycle. So bound means not bound in your family, not bound in your society, not bound in your group. Bound means here the vicious cycle of birth and death. So Indian philosophy accepts the concept of rebirth. So this birth and death, if we take birth, we have to die, It is obvious. So it is natural. So now it is a daytime. And we all know that after a few hours, the night time will come. So if there is day, there is night. If we say no, we want only day. If a person says that I want only daytime, what we would call him or her? We say mad. So exactly in the same way, if I say that I want to live eternally, we say mad. But unfortunate that we cannot accept that Yudhishthira, those who can remember the story of that Dharmaraja and Yudhishthira in Mahabharata, they can understand that what Yudhishthira said according to on respect of these things. This is the most paradoxical part in this universe. Yudhishthira was asked, which is the most paradoxical part in this universe? Then Yudhishthira replied that this is the paradoxical part, that we know we are going to die at some point of time, but we do not want to accept that. This is the paradoxical part. We know it, but we are unable to accept it. That is the point. However, so this is the doer part. So we call it the I do, and we bound with these vicious cycles. So what we have to do? Scripture says, go beyond that. If we take birth, we have to die. So this vicious circle, birth and death, birth and death, birth and death, and birth means suffering. So, what we have to do? Go beyond that. Go out of that cycle. Then what will happen? We do not have to take any birth and death, any suffering, and there we can get the eternal bliss. So people will say that how we can go if we do not have body, how can we enjoy? Because the Atman is blissful itself. It is very difficult to understand this thing, that Atman is blissful itself. So if we do not want happiness and suffering, so if we want happiness, we have to accept suffering. This is, if day, there is night. If birth, there is death. If happiness, there is suffering. No way out. These are the set. If you want to take one, you have to take two. That is the That is the rule. That is, we cannot violate that. We cannot go out of it. So what we have to do then? We have to renounce everything. Neither happiness, these happiness, these suffering are just like a chocolate. A kid is given a chocolate. He is very happy when he is eating, and when it is finished, he will cry. So happiness and suffering. So it is a chocolate. So don't want that. Leave everything and be blissful. Because our real self is blissful. There is proof also why it is called blissful. I am not going to that point because I have to finish it first. So, this is bound. We become bound in birth and death if we are connected with our doing organs and our doership. It is called karta sense. Then the jnata, knower. This knower is neither experiencing these things nor doing. So this point, our sense of spirit is not connected with any of these 10 organs. Here actually the right, it does not enjoy or do. It does not suffer, it does not bound, so it is simple exist and knows. This is a kind of witness situation. You are witnessing a cinema, So a movie is going on and you are witnessing that. It is finished, you came. But those who are identified with that movie, they cry or they laugh. So when we are identified with that movie, we invite the trouble. We cry, we laugh, we discuss. So movie, at that point, movie controls us. But if you only just watch this, you don't have any kind of movement. You are not controlled by the movie. You saw the movie, you watched the movie, and you came out and fine. So it is just like that. With the witness, so it is the witness self. So the first one, bhokta, the experience, that is the suffering self. Then that is the bound self, because by doing things we bound. And the third one is the witness self. Everything we see, feel or do, presented to it. Every experience of an object and every action actually reveal this self. See, nothing is bad because only through our work, only through experience something, our self opens. Without that, our self, we cannot get that sense of self. As self is there, Atman is there, so it is connected with that. And all these are ego. Our ego is experience all these things. So, this doership, this enjoyership, this witness also is experiencing our ego, not the self. Self is just exist and blissful. So because of ego, we are doing that. So this is the concept of, so if you imagine in this way, this is the if you see the movie also, the source of light, then there is the movement of the films, and then there is a screen. So consider the self or Atman is the source of light, then movement is the ego, the film, and then screen is the external world. So this is just like that. Light has no color. It is simple. But the film it is colored, different colors, sometimes blue, sometimes yellow, sometimes red, sometimes green, and accordingly. So when the Atma, light of Atman is coming out from us, it goes through the prism of ego and connected with our senses, and then we interact with this world. So our activity, see, so when we are angry, we are suffering, we are exerting our ego, I do that, we are trying to say that these people is not do this, they are giving me trouble, these are something. So all these things kind of thing, from which point, now you have understood the structure, the whole arrangement, and the working of ourself, then now find that in which point is the trouble. If we can control that point, then we can change our behavior, then we can change our understanding, then we will become less sufferer. So how to manage your interaction, your existence, or your interaction with this world depends upon the understanding of the function of the self and the function of your personality. So, all these three different examples you can control at some point. You can control the ego point is there. You can control the sense point is there. So in different points, you can control and change your attitude, your mental setup, and your experience. So this is the concept of self and its activity. Thank you. It is the one aspect of it. It has other aspects also. But this is the only one aspect I explained. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkham Apnuat Sarvastarotu Durgani Sarvo Bhadrani Pashyatu Sarva Sadbuddhim Apnotu Sarva Sarvatra Nandatu Durjana Sajjano Bhuyat Sajjana Shantim Apnuat Shantamuccheti Bandhebhyo Muktaschanyan Vimuchayet. May all be happy. May all enjoy good health. May all see happy events. May all be freed from miseries. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bondages. May the freed make others free. May the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Here are some announcements. So next Sunday, it will be May May 1st, I think. It will be May 1st. So there will be a talk at 11 o'clock in this hall. But the title of the talk will be circulated, all you will get the bulletin by the time. And the title of the talk will be circulated and we will get it. But there will be a talk at 11 o'clock in this hall next Sunday as usual. And as usual, there will be tea and coffee will be served at the Sardhananda Hall, which will be followed by Prasad Lanchan. You all are invited to join. Thank you.